we have discussed many things with respect to Section 34 of the Indian Penal Code. We have studied the underlying principle under Section 34 of the Indian Penal Code, as it contains the rule of evidence and it is not an offense in itself. So, therefore, if any offense has been committed, then it shall be read with Section 34 of the Indian Penal Code. Under this lecture, we will discuss the various ingredients contained under Section 34 one by one. As per Section 34, acts done by several persons in furtherance of common intention. So, we have studied that it was an act which was done by the several persons and it was done in the furtherance of common intention. So, it was a common intention of the group of people. That people may be either 2, 3, 4, 5, or whatever it may be. So, as per Section 34, when a criminal act is done by several persons. So, here there are several persons and there was a criminal act and it was done by a group of people in furtherance of common intention of all. So, what does it mean? It says they did something towards the commission of the crime in furtherance of common intention of all. What does it mean? There is prior meeting of mind, they consulted each other and finally they decided to do something towards the commission of the crime, and that was in furtherance of common intention. Here the term common means that each and everybody knows that what is going to actually happen in our further act or at the crime scene. Number three, each of such person is liable for that act in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. As we have discussed, even if a person who just hold the hand of the victim will be liable for the offense of murder, why? The presence of the accomplices gives encouragement, confidence to the person who is actually committing the crime. Even if a person who is standing at the gate and watching that whether someone is coming or not, if he is at surveillance, still the person will be responsible for the act as if it were done by him alone. So all the person who took part in the uh, commission of the crime in furtherance of common intention, then all will be liable as if it were done by him alone. He cannot took a plea before the court of law that he was just a standby, he was just holding the hand, or he just attacked over the leg. No, he cannot take a plea, and he is not only responsible for his own act, rather he shall be responsible for the acts done by other, and that is why it is called a group liability, it is called constructive liability, and also it is called a joint liability, and it is the principle, therefore it is a rule of evidence. And you must keep in mind that section 34 is not containing a punishment, or section 34 is not defining a crime, rather it is a rule of evidence and it shall be read with some other offenses. For example, someone committing the offense of murder, then it shall be read as he has committed a crime under section 302, read with section 34 of the Indian Penal Code. So let us come to the point on the ingredients of section 34 of the Indian Penal Code. So the first and foremost ingredient is some criminal act. There are some criminal act has been done on the part of the accused persons. Point number two, criminal act was done by more than one person. So for group liability, for joint liability, there must be at least two persons. Single person cannot form a joint liability. We will study later that whether single person can be convicted under section 34 or not. Point number three, in furtherance of common intention of all. So common intention only exists when there are more than two or more than two persons. Single person cannot share the common intention. Rather, he would have his own intention to commit the crime. Common intention exists only when there are two or more than two persons. Common intention, point number four, common intention in the sense of pre-arranged plan between such persons. So here the sense is the common intention uh, means pre-arranged plan between such person between two or more than two persons. So there is pre-arranged plan, there is pre-meeting of mind, there is consultation of idea, there is sharing of idea, and then only it can be converted into common intention. Point number 5. Participation in some manner constituting the offence by the person sought to be prosecuted. The person participated in some manner constituting the offence by the person sought to be prosecuted. So he had participated, he did something towards the commission of the crime. Suppose if he had not participated, then whether he shall be responsible. If he is part of the conspiracy, if he is the part of the common intention, then and he just wait somewhere, still he shall be responsible. So still he is participated because his presence gives the confidence to the person who are actually committing the crime. Next point, physical presence at the time of commission, but physical presence of all is not necessary. So it is mandatory that the person was present at the crime scene, but it is not mandatory that he must present at throughout the commission of the crime. No, it is not a mandatory requirement. He can monitor from 2 kilometer, 4 kilometer, or even 100 kilometer away. From that place also he can monitor the crime actually committed by someone else, and therefore it form a group liability of all the person who participated in the crime. Come to the point, the criminal act. The term act has been defined under section 33 of the Indian Penal Code. So therefore, section 34 shall be read with section 33 of the Indian Penal Code. So if the person who are involved in the crime are committing an act, then it shall be construed as that it is a single act done on the part of the accused, as if it were done by him alone. For example, सपोज कि 5-6 लोग कोई क्राइम कर रहे हैं, लेट अस कॉल इट द ऑफेंस ऑफ मर्डर. दे आर कमिटिंग द ऑफेंस ऑफ मर्डर. कोई हाथ पकड़ता है, कोई सर पकड़ता है, कोई नाइफ से स्टैब करता है. तो दे आर प्लेइंग डिफरेंट डिफरेंट रोल. So one person who is just holding the hand of the victim cannot say that I was not involved in the crime, because as per section 33, that a series of acts may be termed as a single act, or a single act may be termed as a series of acts. So even if the person is participating in a single act, it may be constituted as he participated in series of acts. Now, point number 2, that act includes omission. So what does it mean? Let us take an example. Suppose कोई husband है, उसको अपनी wife को खाना देना duty है, but he is omitting his duty. He is not providing food to his wife and she died due to starvation. Then it shall be considered that he did an act towards the commission of the crime, and therefore he shall be responsible for the offense of murder, because omission includes an act. Or if a jailer who is not providing food to the prisoners, then he shall be responsible for the offense of murder. So what we understood is that it follows the words when criminal act is done by several persons. क्या मतलब हुआ कि अगर क्रिमिनल एक्ट जो है सेवरल पर्सन्स कर रहे हैं, फॉर एग्जांपल डकैती. डकैती इज अ सिंगल क्राइम बट इट वाज डन बाय सेवरल पर्सन्स. In section 34 may be construed to mean when criminal acts are done. I emphasis over the term acts are done by several persons. So what does it mean? That even if a single criminal act is done by several persons, then it would be construed that when criminal acts are done by several persons, and all will be responsible as if it were done by him alone. So acts may be done by several persons in several capacity, but all may be participated in a single act, and therefore all will be responsible for the offense committed by them as if it were done by him alone. So one person may just stand as a guard to prevent the others who is coming for the relief of the victim, to save the victim. Such person is also committing an act as much as his co-participants actually committing the planned crime. So even if he is just standing, even if he is just guarding at the gate, still he has participated as much as his co-participants are committing the planned crime, and therefore he shall be responsible in the same manner. Now come to the point number two, that is two or more persons. So here the several person means either two or more than two persons. So if a crime has been committed and if the persons are charged under section 34, then at least there must be two or more than two persons, because it is a joint liability, it is a group liability, it is a vicarious liability, and therefore all shall be responsible for the offense done by a single individual. Now come to the point, meaning of common intention. Common intention here means consult, prior consultation, prior meeting of mind, or participation of all the members of the group in execution of the plan. So what does it mean? People are participating, they are consulting with each other, there is consultation of ideas, there is consultation of mind or pre-meeting of mind, and they come on a single conclusion that what actually they are going to. So there is prior meeting of mind, there is prior consultation, there is meeting of mind, and they decided actually what we are going to commit, or actually what we are going to do in near future. So they participated in group, and therefore they participated in the execution of the plan. So act done by each of the participants may differ and may vary in character. So their acts may differ, and it also vary in the character, but they did with the same common intention, and therefore all shall be responsible for the act done in the same manner as if it were done by him alone. Let us take an example. Suppose करिए कि चार लोग A, B, C and D decided to kill X. एक कोई और बंदा है X जिसको ये A, B, C, D डिसाइड करते हैं मारने के लिए. होता क्या है कि X के घर पे ये लोग पहुंचते हैं और A, B, C and D all opened fire over the X. होता क्या है कि बी और सी के फायर ओपन करने से एक्स की डेथ हो जाती है, लेकिन ए और बी के फायर करने से उसकी डेथ नहीं होती है, वो लोग निशाना चूक जाते हैं ड्यू टू सम टेक्निकल फॉल्ट और ड्यू टू सम अदर रीजन और सम एरोनियस रीजन. तो इसकी वजह से एक्स की डेथ नहीं होती है, लेकिन सी एंड डी के फायर ओपन करने से एक्स की डेथ हो जाती है. So here A and B cannot take a plea before the court of law that I am not responsible or we are not responsible because we have not killed X, because A and B shall be responsible as much as C and D, because they did an act towards the commission of the crime, and there was a common intention, there was prior meeting of mind, there was prior consultation, there is a consultation of idea, and therefore all shall be responsible for the act done by the single individual. Now come to the term meaning of common intention. Point number one, common intention implies pre-arranged plan. As we have discussed that common intention means pre-arranged plan. So here the person planned pre-arrangedly and they decided that what to do in near future, or prior meeting of mind. They have met with each other and finally they come on the conclusion that actually what they are going to do, or prior consultation with each other. So they consulted with each other and decided to commit the crime. Point number two, common intention means desire to commit crime without any contemplation of consequence. Here, this meaning differs from meaning number one because it is a desire to commit crime. Desire may be to cause hurt only or to cause grievous hurt, but it resulted into the death, or desire to commit to only a simple hurt. So desire may vary, but the common intention may be same. Here, the common intention, the second meaning is the common intention means desire to commit crime without any contemplation of the consequence. Point number three, common intention means mens rea necessary to constitute the offense. So here, all the person are having some necessary mens rea, and they decided to do certain act. They decided to do some acts towards the commission of the crime. Point number four, evil intent to commit criminal act, but not necessarily same offense which has been committed. So they have an evil intention to commit the crime, but not necessarily the same offense which has been committed. But they have an evil intent. Point number five, it cannot be given any such meaning. It says it cannot be given any such meaning which can be applied everywhere. Therefore, exact meaning depends upon the circumstances of each case. So, what does it mean? Some jurists are having the opinion that the common intention cannot have a exact meaning which can apply everywhere. Rather, it depends on the facts and circumstances of each case. So, if we the definition number 1, definition number 3, and definition number 4, then all will be held liable for the same. What does it mean? That if we accept definition number 1, that prior meeting of mind or prior consultation of idea, or point number 3, the common intention means here the necessary mens rea or the evil intent to commit the crime. So all will be responsible because they did something towards the commission of the crime and they participated in some manner into the crime. But if we accept the definition number 2, the meaning number 2, that common intention means the desire to commit the crime, then all will be held liable for their own act. What does it mean? The person who is just standing at the gate will be responsible for only standing at the gate. The person who is stabbing inside the room will be responsible for the stabbing, for the offense of murder. The person who is just holding the leg will be responsible for holding the leg only. Then section 34 would not be applicable, and the meaning of section 34 would be distorted, and it cannot punish all the individual who participated in the crime, and therefore the very object of section 34 would be frustrated if we accept the definition given under point number 2. So we will accept the definition as given under section under point number 1, point number 3, and point number 4. Point number 5 is also somehow correct, as we cannot give the exact definition, and definition is dependent over the facts and circumstances of each case. Let us give you an example. Suppose X, Y, and Z. They wanted to beat A. एक कोई पर्सन है, मिस्टर ए हैं, जिसको एक्स वाई और जेड जो है मारना चाहते हैं. मारना मतलब उनको केवल बीट करना चाहते हैं, थप्पड़ थप्पड़ मारना चाहते हैं. होता क्या है कि ये सभी उसके घर जाते हैं एंड सब लोग मिल करके उसे मारना शुरू करते हैं. लेकिन मिस्टर एक्स having the previous enmity with A, and he during the course of beating he stabbed A, and therefore the A died. What does it mean? There was no common intention, there was no prior meeting of mind, there was no consultation of idea to stab A, and therefore here X shall be responsible for the offense of murder, and Y and Z shall not be responsible for the offense of murder. Rather, they shall be responsible for their own act, and X shall be responsible for his own act. The reason is, although he died in the course of beating, but there was no consultation of idea, and therefore section 34 will not be applicable here, and therefore every individual will be responsible for their own act and not for in furtherance of common intention of all, because there was no common intention in this example. There was no common intention, and therefore all shall be responsible for their own act, even though he died in the course of beating.